Call this meeting to order, please.
Ross.
Here.
Hamilton. Taylor. Robinson.
Here.
Baxter.
Here.
Harris.
Here.
Insulaco.
Here.
Height.
Present.
Everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, but the prayer by Mr. Vince Insulaco, please.
Dear Lord, thank you for giving us the opportunity to all come together. Please give us guidance and patience as we make our best educated decisions. Please be with our fire, our police, our first responders, sanitation, trash, and all of our frontline workers. In your name we pray. Thank you.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moved.
Second.
Motion seconded, approval of minutes.
Ross.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Insulaco.
Yes.
Height.
Yes.
Would anybody like to pull any communications? If not, yes, sir, Mr. Height.
One.
Pull one,
Yes.
pull it.
And
Okay.
you'd like to have it read in entirety, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so read the communications one for Mr. Height.
Communications one. First, I want to say my wife and I, my son and his family, and my daughter and her family have singularly or in a group stayed in or used Airbnbs, B&Bs, and STRs on many occasions in many places over the past several years. Plus years without reservation. We have benefited from their convenience, affordability, location, proximity, and amenities, usefulness, and appearance. We are not hesitant to use them again in the near future. Air bed and breakfast, and short-term rentals are very beneficial to our city, the same way they are beneficial to thousands of other cities across our nation. Their presence and convenience attract visitors to our city. They provide revenue to our city, provide an affordable place to stay, and they are attractive and a great place to stay. In addition, they are beneficial to the neighborhoods they are or may be located within, having to or required to maintain their properties, help keep the neighborhoods beautiful and attractive, governed by noise, vehicle occupancy, and signage laws and ordinances, helps maintain the peace and quiet in the neighborhoods too. Airbnbs, B&Bs, and STRs are strongly required to adhere to the many rules, regulations, restrictions, conditions, laws, and zoning ordinance enforced at the time of their approval. Violation or noncompliance by their part could result in several penalties or the loss of any and all required permits they have or possess. Bed and breakfast, and short-term rentals are under the watchful eye, I call it microscope, of the city, code enforcement, police department, city clerk's office, North Little Rock CVB, mayor's office, and most importantly, the residents and neighbors of the Airbnbs, B&Bs, STRs that they are or may be located within. Almost immediately, if an Airbnb, B&B, or STR breaks a rule or gets out of line or compliance, they are reported to those with enforcement responsibility. Without these rules, regulations, conditions, laws, zoning ordinances, elective, homeowners are not restricted in their parking of vehicles, the signage placed on their property, not monitored in the conditions of the exterior of their home or conditions of their back or rear yard, and not monitored or restricted in how many people live or reside in their home. We as a legislative body have the approved legislation that has approved Airbnbs, B&Bs, STRs citywide with some restrictions or requirements. In recent months and years, we have all voted to approve special use permits for Airbnbs, B&Bs, and STRs in most wards of our city. Our approvals have created many negative and a few positive comments from residents and our constituents. When placed on our city council agendas going forward, we have a choice. Number one, ban Airbnbs, B&Bs, and STRs altogether, or number two, work on legislation that allows Airbnbs, B&Bs, and STRs by amending and tweaking the rules, regulations, conditions, zoning ordinances, and laws that apply that is fair, just, and beneficial to the residents of our city. In closing, overall, I'm supportive of Airbnbs, B&Bs, and STRs. To be honest, there are several residents in my neighborhoods and on this street, which I have lived for the past 47 years, that we wish would become an Airbnb, a B&B, or an STR. Councilmember Hyde.
Thank you.
Move accept and file.
Second.
Motion second file.
Ross.
Yes.
Hamilton.
Yes.
Taylor.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Harris.
Yes.
Insulaco.
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
So we now move to old business.
Please.
R-23-203, Councilmember Robinson and Taylor.
We're going to hold it.
Yes, ma'am. O-23-77, Councilmember Hamilton.
Am I allowed to ask if the applicant's here?
I don't see him.
The Hensons? I
Is
didn't.
Mr. and Miss
I
Henson
asked
here in the
earlier.
audience?
I'd like to hold that.
O-23-79, Mayor Hartwick.
This is for consideration only. Read it.
Right. We have okay. An ordinance granting a special use to allow youth mentoring in an R3 zone for certain real property located at 2001 Parker Street in the city of North Little Rock.
Where are we on the readings?
We have a pending motion to adopt on an amendment.
It's correct, it's been amended.
Okay, so it's been amended and is a motion to adopt as amended, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and this is for consideration only. Is Mr. Pettigrew, I think, are you in the audience, sir? Did you ever answer the questions that you asked for? Did you ever get them back or get them answered? Come on back, come on up to the microphone, please. Okay. If you remember the last council meeting, you asked for questions that we were asking you, and did you get them? I understand you did, but you never answered them yet?
I have all the answers today. Was I supposed to submit something? I was thinking of coming back to the meeting.
I thought you would need them, and you were supposed to submit answers back to the council this yeah. So
I've called her and could not even get her on the phone.
what's the pleasure of the council? Let him go ahead and, I don't remember all the
I believe
questions.
he has something he'd like to hand out. Perhaps he
Like to
could
hand
hand
it
that
out?
out and we could hold it one more time.
It's up to
Is
y'all.
that, we can't hold it? All readings? Have we gone through all readings? Oh, we can
Sorry,
hold it.
we've gone through the readings, so if you want to hold it, that is an option.
I'll take y'all's suggestions for
I mean, I can
consideration.
understand him wanting to come here to answer the questions. Yeah.
Well, the questions were, do you have the questions that were asked to you, and have you got answers for them?
Yes, I do. She's going to be the one that's going to
I'll sustain, let's go ahead and listen to you right now, I think. So questions were, and you can go ahead and respond.
Good evening. My name is Mary Porter, and as an advocate for Sharing Love Outreach Incorporated, Mr. Pettigrew is going to pass out some folders to
Give
you
them
all
to
if
the,
willing.
give Mr. Scott over here, and he'll pass them out, or behind you, it'd be easier, which is easier. Thank you.
As those booklets are being passed out, it does, I believe, answer some of the questions that was presented to Mr. Pettigrew a little while ago. First of all, I'd like to start out saying that we all have a desire
Thank you.
and a need to receive love as well as give love. And so that is the foundation of who we are, Sharing Love Outreach Incorporated. At its core, this is a youth mentoring opportunity for those ages 8 and upwards, in which not only are we mentoring the fundamentals of science, literacy, mathematics, and the arts, but we're also providing these students with social and emotional skills as well. The program is to build community. That is done by not only servicing the students in the project or the program, but also the families. So that include the parents and the other significant caregivers involved with the students. We're able to do this by connecting the families not only to each other and individually, but also to communities, empowering them, and also creating a more compassionate community. And I would like to say, if I could be transparent just for a moment, as a parent, I would have considered myself, my husband and I, as informed parents. We did the research. We went to the PTS meetings. We went to teacher-parent counseling. We did all that we thought that we should have done in order to help develop our children to be involved and give back to society. What I can say and what I believe is that I believe that all parents, or at least 99% of the parents, love their children and they want to provide a better opportunity for their children, better than what they received or what they had. However, I don't believe that all parents sometimes know how to do this. This is where Love, Sharing Love Incorporated comes into play. We take those families and we mentor them as a whole. Had I not, as an informed parent, as I thought I was, did not have someone to come alongside me and help bridge the gap, provide for me those questions that I did not know, those places that I did not know to research, I don't think I would have made it very far. And so this program helps not only what may be the informed parent, but also the uninformed parent. Whether that parent doesn't have time, working several jobs, and just don't know. So this program is good for that. I'll stand as a parent advocate for programs such as this because I know what it did for me and my household. I can say that having someone like what we call the Safer Guards in Sharing Love Outreach Incorporated, it is someone that comes alongside those families. Yes, sir.
Here's some of the questions we ask. Hours of operation. What's your hours of operation? 7 to 6. You turned in 7 to 11 p.m., if you remember.
That's what we amended.
Or you amended, okay. Meet the requirements of a fire marshal. Have you met the requirements of the fire marshal? My last comment was the fire marshal, you did not meet those requirements. So I'm going by what was you were supposed to get back to them. Provide inspection for licensed contractor regarding improvements. Provide an inspection report for the fire marshal to determine your occupancy, how much are you having there, and how many people can you park at your location. Did you get back with any of this? You didn't. That's what I'm hearing.
The fire marshal did come out and do a fire inspection,
Yes, sir.
and I do have the fire marshals.
Chief, are you in here, or the fire marshal? Yes, sir. I saw you come in here, please. Also, if you're supposed to provide on-site parking, 5 occupants per occupancy load and 1. On-site parking space per staff. Street parking does not count towards required parking spaces. Yes, sir. Did you hear the question? Yes, sir. We did. Come on up, please. I got to have you up here, please. Yes, sir. Do you understand?
He did call me out to do a fire code inspection, and the building did pass a fire code inspection. I also calculated what the occupant load would be for the purpose that he says he's going to use it for, and it would be 92 occupants. And I guess it would be somebody else that would determine what the parking requirements are.
How many occupants?
92. And I've got a little chart that kind of describes how I came up with that figure if somebody wants to see it.
Okay. What about provides an accurate sealed site plan that includes the required parking? Did he do that, you say? Sean?
I have not received one at the moment.
Say that again?
I have not received anything at the moment on the drawing.
Okay.
So the parking would be about 20 spots on site. If there's approximately 100 people inside, divided by 5 would be 20 spots.
That's what's required, correct? And the fire marshal's saying, what did you say again on your spots requiring? You're saying they have at least 92 they can put in that house?
Load calculation.
How many people?
The occupant load calculation would come to 92 people.
Okay. Let's see, business license. Do you have a business license and issue for planning? You haven't gone to planning yet. Is that right, Mr. Pigley?
He wouldn't be able to get one until.
I got you. I'm asking. Okay. Questions from the council? Yes, Ms. Ross?
I guess one thing, how many parking spots do you have right now?
On my site plan, I turned it into, Donna, in the office. I need to go back and recheck.
Today, or,
Well, I turned that in way before now. I emailed it to her.
so what we're needing is a detailed one that's showing the 20 parking spots. We don't have that.
Okay, so that's new, okay.
So here's the deal. If I call this tonight and it doesn't, Mr. Taylor, do you want to, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I'm looking here on, I guess, page 7, where it says, capacity and, participant numbers. Facilities capacities, minimum 12, youth mentees and maximum of 25, and then staffing ratios, 3 adults per, 3 adult mentors per day. So, 25, 28, so you get 28 is gonna be your capacity.
Mr. Spicer, he's asking you a question.
28 would be your capacity. I mean, he cleared your facility for 92, but clearly what it says here is you're only gonna have 28.
Yes, because in the occupancy, I think he said that's not even required from the email that I received.
What's not required?
I'm not sure what he's referring to. The occupant.
Go in front, I gotta have you in front of the mic for people here, if you don't mind, please. Yes, sir. Thank you, Chief.
The occupant load refers to basically you look at a store and it's a mercantile, you assume that a mercantile will have X number of people per square foot, like X number of square foot per shopper. We don't, when you go in there and calculate that, you don't know how many shoppers will be there. You just know what, there's like a chart in the building code that says when you calculate it, this is what your assumption is. One person every so many square foot, that's what could be in there, and so the building has to meet certain requirements.
How many square feet were there?
So the building there, I've got a chart here.
1323 West 13th Street.
So the total square footage was approximately 300 square footage of it was occupants, was office space, 3 occupants. Approximately 364 square feet at 50 square foot per occupant would be 8 occupants. That's in an activity space that he said they would be doing activities. And then there was a kitchen and 3 baths, so I counted that as 4 occupants. And then approximately 1,525 square foot of what would be kind of classroom space. And I calculated that at 20 square foot per occupant. That would be 77 occupants for a total of 92 occupants.
Okay, Mr. Hamilton.
So according to the fire marshal, he can't go over 92 occupants. He says he's only going to do about 28 occupants, which sounds reasonable. Sean, does he have to have parking spots for his stated 28 or the fire code 92?
So when planning looks at it, not the fire marshal, when we look at it, we don't know it's not the use, it's the space. So the space could, if he were to sell this, the next person operating that type of business could have 92 in there.
So the parking requirements are for 92?
Correct.
Got it, thank you.
Ms. Robinson.
I reviewed your packet, every page. And I guess my question once again, what are your hours of operation?
Yeah, he said, go ahead. Say it again.
7 to 6.
7 a.m. to 6. And is this doing when school is in session or school out of session?
Out of session, yes, ma'am.
So we're talking about during the summer months only, or we're talking about this is a year-round program?
Throughout the school year.
It's a what?
Through the school year, year-round.
Year-round.
Yes, ma'am.
And please forgive me, but this still looks like a daycare to me. And you all have listed that, and maybe I'm a little bit behind on things, but you're saying this is a mentoring program, and it's from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and you've listed everything that most daycares have, but it's not a daycare. It's sharing love. Is this a church group, or what is it?
I have a ministry, I do.
You have a ministry?
Yes, I do.
I have problems with this, and I told you that the last time. This, to me, and see, I'm very upfront, seemed like to me this is the back door into getting a daycare. That's what it looks like to me. And with the daycare, at least we have some oversight. We have somebody that will monitor the program, and when something goes wrong, you know, there's a system in place. But with your sharing love, I really don't see oversight. And I'm concerned, and the reason why is because we're talking about children. And I know some children are very vulnerable, and I just got some issues with this. I'm just not clear on this.
Mr. Hampton?
I second just about everything that Councilmember Robinson said. Everything in your packet seems good to me. Love is good, but I think there are some things that are not in your packet, such as complying with state regulations for daycare. So I second everything that Councilmember Robinson said.
Mr. Taylor?
I hate to say this, but I'm confused. But he's not a daycare, so he doesn't have to comply with the requirements of a daycare. What was the parking requirements again? How many spots? 20 spots? Yes. And I'm looking here, that's impossible. To get 20 spots. What does it cost to come to the, if I have a teenager, what does it cost for her to come to your program?
Majority of the slots for the children is people donate for the children to come. So they don't pay anything.
So there's no cost per head?
Correct. Donation based only. And if you would read in the pamphlet, it would break everything down.
Well, I looked through it. I didn't see anything about money. Huh.
There's a section there, not sure what page it's on, that talked about donations provided.
I saw a lot of different groups. So you're telling me if I have a youth that I want to come to this program, they can just come?
Correct.
Ms. Robinson?
Ma'am, what is your role with this organization?
An advocate, yes, ma'am. And so even with.
One moment.
Yes,
You are an advocate. You're
Yes,
not
ma'am.
a worker,
not at this time.
but you're just advocating for this.
Yes, ma'am, currently.
Ms. Ross?
Okay, you said a majority you have donations for, so then there are others other than the majority that have to pay? I guess I was confused when you said the majority.
It's free.
Everybody's free.
Correct.
Everybody's free.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then it says
Within
you will
that
have a minimum
capacity.
of 3 mentors. So you're going to have a minimum of 3 mentors from 6 in the morning till 7 at night?
It's from the evening time from after school. Now, my hours are basically doing my hours of how I work. Administrative is 7 to 6, but the children come after the time of school is out.
And you will have 3 there every day, minimum of 3?
Yes, ma'am.
Mentors
Correct.
every day?
Yes, ma'am. Correct.
And are these mentors, are they volunteers, or do they get paid, or
Yes.
yes, they're volunteers, or yes, they get paid?
They were,
Are they volunteers or do they get paid?
They do. Yes, sir. They do get paid.
And you 100% of your funding is
Yes, sir.
donations?
Correct.
Huh?
Ms. Ross, wait a minute, I had Ms. Robinson for you. Go ahead, Ms. Robinson.
I have, let me say, I admire you having a mentor program, okay? I know mentorship is needed, but my problem with this is, if this was DHS, that would tell me a lot, you know, and I could feel assured that there'd be safety plans in place and all of that, you know. Even if it were a church, you know. But my problem is oversight. That's my problem. That was my problem 2 weeks ago, and that's my problem tonight. Have you talked to the neighbors down there or the neighborhood groups down there about your program?
I talk to the community every day. I see children walk through the area every day. I'm there every day.
Ms. Ross?
Okay, so you said it's all donations, but are there any government funding received
It
for
is
this?
not. I just answered that question. It's donations.
It's strictly, I was
Yes,
thinking
ma'am.
if there was any government funding, then there would be oversight, which would answer her question, is what I was getting at. So there's not any government
Correct.
regulations?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Mr. Hamilton?
Is there any, I think this question's for Sean. It looks to me like it would be impossible to get 20 parking spots on that location without removing part of the building. If they cannot get 20 parking spots, I guess they could request a waiver, but if they don't request a waiver, are they able to get a license in any way? I mean, what?
The only license they would need from the city would be a business license. So there is no DHS license or that kind of stuff.
They don't need the parking requirements, those 20 parking spots, why are those required? Are they required?
Yeah, they'd be required on the use of the building. So it's not,
based on
so
the
yeah,
capacity.
so it's not necessarily how they're using it. We're now taking a building and making it a commercial assembly type use. And so the next person using it may have, well, I mean, if the kids are coming in with no, you know, with not having to pay, there might be more than what they think.
Okay, so mentoring or daycare or whatever it is, anything that they're going to be doing, they need 20 parking spots?
Yes. Based it on being an education type use. Was that the private education? Yeah. Yeah, based on an education type use, which is
He
what they're
needs
doing.
20 parking spots?
Yes.
I don't,
Chief? Excuse me
can't imagine
interrupting. Did you tell us, Chief, Captain, did you tell me the exact square footage of the building a while ago?
So I apologize. I've got it broke down, but I don't have it.
Can you add them up for me real fast?
I can add it up real fast.
Please. I'm just trying to get the square footage. I'm not trying to say yes or no. I'm just trying to say how many square foot are in that building at 1323 West 13th Street? I'll come to you, Mr. Baxter, just a second. I know you told me how many, but I'm trying to figure if you have 92 people, what is the square footage of that building?
It's probably around 2,400 square feet.
So you're talking about 2,400 square feet with 92 people?
Yep. So the bulk of that is 1,525 square feet.
Yes, sir.
Of classroom space. And there's a chart, I can show it to you if you like. There's a chart, I got a copy of it, that's straight out of the building code that basically designates how many people you calculate based on the use of the space. And it breaks it down to different types of classroom use for educational purposes, whether it's vocational or classroom. And so the activity area, I broke that down as like a vocational area. And then the classroom area, I broke that down as classroom area. Office areas, it gives you a certain number of people that you assume will be in an office, 100 square foot per occupant. So different spaces, it gives a
Well,
different.
hang on a sec. You just said 100 square foot per occupant. So if you have 92 occupants, that's 9,200 square feet.
If it was like for office space, It's
that's-
different for every use, yeah.
All right, so you're saying 1,500 square feet, how many people you can put in there?
So one person every 20 square foot for classroom space.
So one person or 20 square foot, I can do my math pretty fast, but that ain't what you just said to me.
So, one person every 20 square foot at 1,525 square feet. That is 76.25, and you always round up, and I listed it as
So
77.
1,500 square feet, we got 70, right at 80 people is what you're saying.
77 in the classroom area.
So it's just sitting areas is what you're allowing for.
Yeah, in that area.
And
which
one
would be
more thing I
classroom.
want to ask, how many bathrooms are in this location?
There's 2 bathrooms. One of them has 1 stall, and the other one has 2 stalls, I believe.
So you've got a man and a woman, or whatever, or is it, all of them can go to the same one? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think they were. It's 3 total. Three total, which, is it men's or women's or?
Okay. All right.
Can
Where
you
are we
speak
on
into
this?
the mic for the
Yeah.
record?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, when y'all talk, you gotta get in the microphone, because we're recording this, I need it for record. So how many bathrooms again, please?
It's a total of 3.
3 bathrooms?
Yes.
And they are for all male, female?
Yes, male and female in the back, and then the front staff.
Okay. So you got one for staff and one for students, is what you're saying. All right, thank you. Anything else from the council? Yes, ma'am.
I know that y'all probably want to go ahead and vote on this, but I'm a really fast reader, but to sit through this and digest it and everything, I'm having a hard time so if my vote will be strictly on what we're just hearing tonight, not
Let
this.
me make it clear to y'all where we are, okay? We just got your program tonight, okay? So Ms. Ross is asking for us to have time to digest it. Do you want me to call for a vote? And if you do, you know if it doesn't go your way, it's off the table. If you want to delay it for another 2 weeks and bring it back, I will do that for you, so we can at least read your brochure and your title, so it's your call.
What you can do is send me an email when you're considering to do it.
No, sir, well, no, I'm telling you what I'm gonna do right now.
Also,
I'm saying you make the call right now.
hold-
Either
could
you
we hold
make,
it?
I'll hold it, and
yeah,
if you,
we hold it.
okay, now, you want me to explain it to you one more time? Here it is, how it works. If we hold it, you got 2 weeks to more or less lobby, and let's read what your format is, okay?
That's fine. We
If
can
we
hold
vote for it tonight, which you can say yes, vote, and it doesn't pass, you're through for a year.
it. Okay, that's
which-
fine. We can, I guess if they're wanting to read through the pamphlets, they can, and then in the 2 weeks.
I can do whatever you ask, but
That's
you've
fine.
got 2 choices, one to hold it or one not.
That's
Tell-
fine. We can hold it.
You want to hold it?
Yes.
Is it okay with council? Ms. Ross, Ms. Robinson, I'm sorry.
I just,
It's their ward.
another concern, drop off and pick up. When we
Parents will
talk
be-
about parking, when you come back, I want to know about drop off and pickup.
Okay, that's fine.
By the way, Mr. Scott, next meeting, let's have it up on the screen so we can look at it, okay? If you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
So you're asking me to hold it for 2 weeks so we can view the material you gave us, is that correct? Ma'am, you okay with that? No, you're, okay, all right. Let's hold that then. Wait a minute, Mr. Taylor? Hang on.
Mr. Pettigrew, I'm looking at this thing like you're coming to Shark Tank as an investor. We need to see some numbers. I mean, you saying people are gonna donate money. So, I mean, how much money if I donate $1, will that support a kid in the program, or is it gonna take $100 or $1,000? I mean, what does it look like? I mean, it's just donations. That means nothing. I mean, because what if you don't get donations? Then does the program go or does it not go? You gonna self-fund it? I mean, what money is gonna make this a viable program? Without money, you have no program. So just saying people are gonna donate, to me, that doesn't cut it.
And I would definitely need to know about parking spots, how that would be possible. Put 20 parking spots on that location. I think that sounds like a
That's impossible.
Mr. Pettigrew,
regulation that is insurmountable.
let's look at this. Let's look at your parking, okay? You got it? Let's get together with your business plan, how you're gonna keep in business. Does that make sense to you?
Right.
What else do you want to have him bring back to us? We've got a lot of material here about the love, but what else do we want to talk to him about? Parking, how you gonna stay in business, and this is the biggest thing, we're dealing with kids. And you're saying you're starting at 7 till 6. You started this from 7 to 11, so you're back to 7 to 6. So give us a good business plan, what you're doing, and let's see if we can go forward. Fair enough?
And if you got, I mean, kids, so it's a mentoring program. You said it's gonna be summertime, so our kids are gonna be driving to the program, they're not gonna be driving to the program. If you're gonna have kids, if you're gonna have teenagers that will be driving to the program, again, we're back to square one. Where are they gonna park at?
Gotcha. You okay with us holding this now? I want to hear from you if you're okay. We're holding it for 2 more weeks, right? Ms. Ross, okay, everybody?
Thank you all.
Next,
All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. We're holding R 2379.
Mayor,
Yes.
I was going to make a request. This is
All right,
out of
go ahead,
line,
you're up.
But we have a lot of people here for O 2384 and O 2385, and I know some of them have young children that they need to get home to, and we've taken up quite a bit of time already. If we called that out of order, these two? if it
Can I
would be
get through the
okay with
consent
everybody else
decree
here?
and then go straight to that, if you don't mind?
Okay.
Let's do the consent decree. Anybody want to pull something from consent decree? That'd be R 23-210 all the way to 23-216. Does anybody want to pull? If not, we'll ask for all in favor.
R 23-216,
Yeah. You want to pull that one?
yes, I want to make
Pull
sure the
that one,
owners
the rest
here.
of them,
I
R
wanna make sure the owners
23-210
here.
to R 23-215. Can I ask for an A in favor of those, aye in favor of those?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, let's go ahead. We've got a voice vote on R 23-210 all the way to R 23-215. I will hold 23-216, and let's go to, as Ms. Ross asked, the first one you want to talk to about is,
R 23-216, I just want to make sure that the owners are here. It's a rehab agreement, and I want
let's
them
do R
to-
23-216.
I want to make sure that.
Uh,
the owners-
I'm going to have to
R
talk.
23-216, Mayor Harwick.
Call it, brother, I'm sorry.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and city to enter an agreement to rehabilitate property for certain real property located at 214 West 14th Street in the city of North Little Rock.
That's to rehabilitate, it's 2825, is that correct? Is the owner here? Bruce? If not, what do you want to do, hold it?
We should hold it.
Let's hold it. We'll hold R 23-216 then, all right? Thank you. Let's go to R 23-217, please, and that is, if you
Wait,
don't,
can we
Your Honor.
skip?
huh?
Can we skip around?
Yeah, we can.
I'm with, everybody's here for these two.
There's a
basically.
lot of folks out there.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get- let's get-
2384 and 2385.
Let's go to R 2384, and let's see where we are on that. R 2384 is going to be,
O 2384 will be Councilmember Height.
Please call it.
An ordinance granting a special use to allow a bed and breakfast in an R4 zone and for certain real property located at 3900 Monticello Drive in the city of North Little Rock.
all right, I've got to
First
call convene a public hearing on that, if you don't mind. Should I read it first? Just read it? Or we already done it, more or less?
Do we have to put it on the floor before you call a public hearing?
I thought we do. That's what I'm asking. Let's put it on the floor.
That's first.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
We'll move to suspend the readings.
Yeah, we haven't done any of that yet.
Thank you. Move to suspend
Yes,
the
sir.
readings.
Second.
Motion spanned and seconded.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
All right, now I'm going to call a public hearing on this, okay?
Uh,
All right, I'm convening a public hearing on R 2384. Those wishing to speak for or against it, please come to the microphone. Those wishing to speak for or against it, this is
Did they
R
have to sign up?
2384. Please come forward.
3900 Monticello Drive.
Yes. Identify yourself, and I've got, looks like, on 2384, I've got Rick, I got you, and I've got Jim, and I've got Brett and Ashley Wright. Those are the three I've got signed up for it so far. Does that make sense?
Good.
Okay, Rick, go ahead, please.
Rick
Identify yourself
Valdano, 4204 Monticello Drive.
and your name again.
I wanted to come to y'all
Rick,
tonight.
your name, please, I didn't hear it.
Rick Daldano.
Got you.
4204 Monticello Drive.
Yes,
down the
sir.
street. Wanted to come for you tonight to talk about the bed and breakfast application on Monticello Drive. First of all, I'm a little confused in that Bunker Hill area, everybody keeps calling it R4. Unless we've changed the zoning, Bunker Hill's R1.
An R4.
And I think, I don't know if it makes a difference, but Bunker Hill, all the streets in Bunker Hill are R1 according to the county. So I don't know if that makes a difference or not.
I'll check that for you in just a second with planning, okay, Rick?
If it doesn't, and if it is R1, one of the things in an R1 district is based on residential district protocol, I guess. The regulations for R1 district promote and encourage a suitable environment for living by prohibiting all activities of a non-residential nature. I think a bed and breakfast is a business, and I think it is of non-residential nature, so
Mayor?
it does that now. In addition to
Mr. Height,
that,
he's got the floor, if you don't mind.
I know, I have to go get Sean to answer his
He will get it
question.
in just a second, I promise you. All right, go ahead, Mr.
in
Dillon.
addition to that, the general description for residential districts goes on to say that whereas conditional uses are permitted, these must have these are your words, must have planning commission review and approval. The planning commission looked at this on September 12th. They denied the application, and it was voted no. So I'm not real sure why we're here tonight. In addition to that, parking, I don't care what you do, parking anywhere you go, anywhere you do, dinner, whatever you want to do, is always a problem. Parking is a problem here. As written in your rules for short-term rentals, they must have 2 parking places according to that. 2 rooms, 2 parking places. It ought to have 4, but it's got 2, and we'll go with 2. As of tonight, I have not yet seen the renters in that facility park in those parking places. The parking places, the off-street parking places are the driveway. The driveway has 2 spots. Think about it. You got 2 people in there. They got 2 spots. Where's the owners going to park? So what has happened is you've got the owner in the driveway and you got 2 cars in the street. What happens on the nights that a husband and wife are going to meet each other in North Little Rock and they got 2 cars? Then you got 1 room, 2 cars, the other room, 1 car. Now you have 3 on the street. That street, the way it's situated, and you turn off of Cornwallis, it bends back to the right. When those cars are in the street like that, you can't see what's coming from the other direction. And it will become a problem. It's just not if, it's when.
Thank you. Anything? First off, Mr. Height asked Mr. Spencer.
Say that again?
Mr. Height asked Mr. Spencer, what is it zoned? I think it's the question you have for it. Mr. Spencer, what is that area zoned?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The neighborhood is zoned R4. So the R1 that's on the county website means something completely different. Has nothing to do with zoning in the city of North Little Rock. So the neighborhood is zoned R4.
Okay. Let me answer your question. Now, I'm going to go ahead. Are you through? If not, I'm going to go ahead, Rick.
The last thing I want to do is just tell you that when there's a lot of what I think are vague rules for these. Some of them being, it says it has to comply with all state and local fire, sanitation, food service, which I assume is health department. Provisions is a must. Has that been done? Has any of you gone to see this facility? I mean, they keep it up, it's nice. It's going to have, it will end up with a sign in the yard. Just a lot of things that are not good for residential areas, and I think this is one that's not. And
I've got to stop you, Rick. It's 3 minutes is your max. Real fast, okay?
Concern. On top of the fact that it's this one, it sets this precedent for all of the rest of them. Because if you approve this one, then they're all going to have their hand up and go, me too, me too. Gotcha. And it's going to be widespread. So.
All right, I've got to have Jim. Are you here, Jim Edwards? Jim, can I ask you to keep it 3 minutes? And I'm going to come on up, please. Identify yourself. Are you still wanting to speak on this, sir?
Yes, sir. I'll just be real quick.
Yeah, and I'm going. If you're kind of saying what Rick says, it's okay.
Okay.
Go
Go
ahead.
I was just. I'm Jim Edwards, and I just wanted to see the amount
Address,
of hands
Jim.
in here.
Jim, address, please.
Edwards.
I know, Jim.
Edwards.
Address.
Oh, 4004 Monticello.
Thank you.
I just wanted to see the number of hands that don't support this.
I'm going to do that, Jim, but let me do it. If you let me do
I'm
it here in a
good.
second. I'm going to get to that. Thanks, Jim. All right, I got Brent and Ashley Wright. Is that how you say it? All right, kind of the same thing. What's your time, if you don't mind for me, please?
3700 Cornwallis.
Name?
Ashley Wright.
Thank you. Brent?
Brent Wright.
Okay. Go ahead. You're up.
I just, part of my issue is the notification of this kind of thing, the 200-foot radius notification that something like this is going on and finding out after the fact. I think that's I think you'd have a lot more people standing up here opposing things like this if more people knew about it.
Okay, I understand. I think what you're asking is that Mr. Spencer, did they post their 200-foot and bring the addresses in?
Yes.
That's what
And I ran around and knocked on doors and made phone calls. Or people at the end of Monticello, like these people here would not have even known.
Okay. My apologies. All right, anything else? Give me just a second. Or anything else you want to say?
Part of the proposal was a 4 square foot sign that they are allowed to mount to the front of the house. I don't think anybody wants that next door to them.
I don't know what you're going to up there, but leave it alone for a second. All right, and here's the question that you wanted to ask. Everybody out in the audience, I'm going to ask one more person. You want to say it and keep it 3 minutes, and I'll ask the question, please. So name and address, please.
Evan Blake, 4500 Lakeshore Drive. I'm the executive director for the LPOA, which encompasses 3900 Monticello, and I also speak for the Lakewood Recreational Improvement District, which that board's appointed by the mayor himself. I've had, if not 2 to 3 dozen phone calls. I think a lot of people think I'm more important than I really am, and they seem to call me a lot, but I've had everyone opposed to it and no one against it. I can appreciate small business. That's exactly what I run. And we're a small business. There's 8 of us. And I can appreciate what they're trying to do, chase the American dream. But that neighborhood, you know, if it was a situation where they moved in and it was already commercially zoned, I think that's, you know, they knew that going in. But now you have families that have lived there 40, 50 years, and we're trying to switch it. And as Rick said, where does it stop? It becomes a snowball effect. I mean, I know there's a lot of short-term rentals, and those have been allowed, and we have a few problems with that, but this is a different beast, I think. And I want to speak for those people that didn't feel to come to speak tonight, and let you know that there is a lot more than just the people sitting in this room that are opposed to this rezoning.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
I am going to ask the question, and then I'll let you come up. It's okay, ma'am, please? So those people that was wanting to ask a while ago, I'm going to ask the people who are in the audience tonight to stand up, who were a supporter of Mr. Del Dono, Mr. Wright, and I think it was Mr. Edwards. Would y'all please stand for just a second? So, okay. Support for what Mr. Del Dono and that group was saying. And now I see the audience, so thank y'all very much. Your name, please?
My name is Susan Ridgel.
Okay.
We're the one applying for the Monticello B&B license, or to become a bed and breakfast. We are a short-term rental. The reason why we have gone through this...
Ma'am, up here, please.
The reason we have gone through this a second time is because we wanted to be able to have the opportunity to be able to run a business. I have moved here from out of state, hoping to have an amazing new adventure in life, to be able to come down here to this awesome state. I heard wonderful things, got here. It is not what people say it is. And let me just start by saying that I'd like to thank everyone who has been in our corner trying to be able to help us be able to get our business up off the ground instead of just a short-term rental, because that was not the dream. The dream was the bed and breakfast, and it still is. And because of all of the blowback we are getting from this, from our neighbors who have been very disrespectful, and believe me, we have been harassed by our neighbors. We do not feel safe in our neighborhood, and we are an interracial couple. And believe me, there are neighbors in our neighborhood that have made that apparent. So we would like to request to pull the entire thing for the bed and breakfast. We would like to be able to say how ashamed we are of the people here in North Little Rock, and how ashamed we are that you have not been supportive of the business and supportive of your neighbors. We are going to be moving to another location, and we will be more than happy to give our business and support to the community and to the other businesses in another location, because we do not feel that we have been served properly in North Little Rock. Thank you for your time.
Anybody else want to speak for the event on the 2384, speak for or against? I think we've heard from the person, so I am going to convene, excuse me. Let me adjourn this public hearing.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to adjourn this public hearing, and Mr. Height, it's your call, but Ms. Ross has a question. All right, well, what do you want to do?
Well, they want to pull it, so let's pull it.
You're pulled. And Ms. Ross, what you want to say, please, ma'am? Yes, you can. This thing is pulled. We're going to go to 02385. If y'all would like to leave, the ones who's involved with this, go ahead and take off, okay? This thing's been pulled. Thank y'all for showing up, by the way. Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Take a break.
Do you want a break?
3 minutes.
Mr. Height's asking for a 3-minute break. Let's take a 3-minute break.
All right. They want, that's.
Five.
02385, Councilmember Hamilton.
Please call it. One moment is.
Oh, I'm
good.
sorry.
He's here. Yes, please call it.
An ordinance granting a special use to allow the continuation of a type 2 short-term rental in an R1 zone for certain real property located at 118 East A Street or A Avenue in the city of North Little Rock.
Y'all want to go and
Suspend
get
the
suspend
readings?
readings? Yeah.
Second.
Thank you.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
I gave him the 3, so yes. So right now, I'm going to convene a public hearing on this, so give me just a sec, everybody. Let me convene a public hearing on this, 02385. Those wishing to speak for or against it, please come forward and identify yourself. And I've got 3 names on here, and so go ahead and identify yourself. Let me get through these. Anybody, this would be David Pratt, and then I've got Pam Bradford, and looks like a John Cressy. So come on up if you're on this list, because the hearing is open right now. Please, identify yourself and address, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Cressy, 120 East A Avenue. I'm here to speak in support of the Henderson's Airbnb. I am integrated part of North Little Rock. My father was born at 18th and Pike and in 1965, we moved to Waterside, Idlewild, Garland intersection. Our family home is still there. We keep it for the family when they come through. So I have a great deal of concern about what happens in my neighborhood. I live next door to this property. As a matter of fact, the Airbnb is part of our property line. The last thing I want is a nuisance or nefarious activities occurring next door. When we moved in, my wife and I, 6.5 years ago, we met Trace and he said, by the way, this is an Airbnb. If you ever have a problem, let me know. Haven't had a problem. There is no problem. It's a tiny little room, and that's it. People use it to come to shows. Traveling nurses will stay there for long periods of time. It's nice. I have no problem with this, and I think I understand the people who are against it. My neighbors are wonderful. I have a great deal of respect for all of them. Enjoy talking to them. But they didn't even know it was there. So instead of going nuclear option on something that is not an issue, I don't know, maybe we could tear down the Hilltop Inn. Something
Gotcha.
along the lines.
Gotcha.
That's it.
I
Thank you,
appreciate-
Mayor.
Thank you, sir, appreciate it. Next, I've got Pam. Is that you? Come on up, please, ma'am.
My name is Pam Bradford. I live at 100 East A Avenue. I live on the other side of the Airbnb. I am also in support of it. We would not have known there was an Airbnb in our neighborhood if Trace had not informed us of it. We have lived there the whole time since 2005. There's never been any issues, no noise, no sign at all of any problems.
Thank you, ma'am, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. David, come on up, please, sir.
Good, thank you. David Priest, live at 124 Skyline Drive. And a little bit shorter comments than I made a few weeks ago to the committee. I'm against it. I think I'm certainly pro-business. I'm a VP of, close to retiring VP of sales, and so I'm certainly accustomed to trying new things and things that you don't have answers to. We've been in North Little Rock our entire life and have had the opportunity to move and didn't want to. We've been at Skyline Drive for just a tad over 2 years now. And so I think as I was really thinking about this and knew there were some people in favor of it, this is kind of a hot thing around our country right now, and to the people that use it, very convenient, and I think has a lot of good reports on them. One of the things, I guess on a selfish standpoint, I guess what I'm saying is, I don't want it in my neighborhood. And, but on maybe a broader note is, and I got to thinking about it from maybe your perspective or from a business perspective is, so you approve these, this one, another one, another one. How do you stop and ever say no legally?
What we've done, I don't know if you were at the last council meeting, this council.
I was not.
Okay, this last council approved that STRs, which are short-term rentals, could only be placed over 1,500 feet from each other. So if you think you had one here, if you take that out, you're 3,000 feet. So I don't know if it solves the problem, but maybe answers your question a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about a line of them so much. It was really precedent. And then when do you get so many per foot challenged?
We tried to answer that. Ms. Ross.
You know, one thing too is they're not allowed in a R1 or R2, which you are R1, R2. The ones that you're seeing now were the ones that were pre-existing, that were in business, such as this one's been there for 7 years and nobody even knew it was there. So after we get through these, and I think Donna and Planning said the end of October should be the end of the pre-existing. So no future ones will
Well,
be
that's a
allowed.
good answer. I didn't know
No
that
futures
existed.
will
I
be
think
allowed.
that addresses that.
It is.
so,
We're on top of it for council and city as much as we can be, but I wanted to let you know how we've done it, what we've done lately, and you're right. when they passed this years ago, it's kind of like some other things we're dealing with. It wasn't even thought of, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you for the time.
Thank you, sir.
And for the record, I am against it.
right.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask if there's anybody else out there wanting to talk, speak for or against this. Ms. Ross, if you want to go ahead and not, I'm going to adjourn this public hearing. Ms. Ross.
I had one more comment. Kevin Charlton, who is also the neighbor across the street, could not be here, but he sent me quite a long, email and wanted me to, that some of the things, he is absolutely for it. And they have actually, let's see if I can get to this one part. He said, as a matter of fact, it's the greatest convenience that we can rent it for our friends and family because our home is so small and we need overflow accommodations. He says, it's nice to know that we don't have to rent a motel room and that our guests can walk across the street to our house.
Gotcha.
So I think it's pretty much all the neighbors surrounding it are in favor of it.
Anybody else? Where are we now? Mr. Hamilton.
Yes, I was a little disappointed that the Monticello people had you pull it. I appreciate your support of short-term rentals and your viewpoint on it, Councilmember Height.
Thank you.
I share many sentiments that you wrote in your letter. But I think there were differences between that application and this one that I wanted to point out. The one on Monticello was right in the middle of a neighborhood street. I had an issue with that. This one is 20 feet from one of the busiest commercial intersections in North Little Rock. There was zero neighborhood advocacy for the Monticello one. I mean, I got probably 10 emails and at least 15 phone calls opposing that one. There was no history of any good operations for that Monticello one. This one has 7 years of good business operation. Even the gentleman who spoke against it had no idea it was there for the past 6 years. They've had no complaints on this one, no parking complaints, no anything. I see benefits of short-term rentals in our community within regulation. And I think the regulations that this council passed specifically allowed for people who had been running them well to apply and to get that approved. And I think that was exactly what that regulation passed by this council was for. So I'm a little disappointed. I was actually going to get to vote against one and show that I wasn't just one-sided on this. But this is one where I've spoken with the neighbors who are for it. I have heard from a neighbor who is against it. But I just think that this is almost the exact type of short-term rental that I envisioned as being a benefit to the community. So I just wanted to state that. So why I would be voting for it.
Anybody else? Mike, are you out there? Where is Mike? Do you want to, I passed you over on this R23-211, and come on, come to Mike, because it's already passed, as you know, but I missed you because I had a bunch of these in front of me, so help set my, what is it? Yes, sir.
My name is Mike Vasquez. I live in Levy. I own a small business there as well. My question was, there was a property up for sale, and I put an offer on there, and I believe it was the first day with Mr. Robert Birch.
I know who you're talking about, yes.
Yeah.
This is about, I looked over him, it's my fault, but it was about, he's asking about the fire station on MacArthur, correct?
That's correct.
There was 3 of them at that time. So if you would like, I can talk to you about it, but I didn't mean to overlook you, is what I'm trying to say. You want me to talk to you after this, and I'll tell you the 3 that came up? Is that okay with you, or what? Or you want to speak?
Me after what?
I'll talk to you after the council meeting and tell you about the 3 bids that were received. Did you make a bid?
I was the first one with the bid, and my question was, why was my bid overlooked?
It wasn't that I know of. That's why I say I need to talk to you what was done. I don't know who you are or what was overlooked. So
Okay.
I'll be glad to sit down with you right after this and accept my apology. I just sitting there saw now that I the R-23-211 was passed on the consent decree.
Okay.
So give me after this, and I'll sit down with you and show you exactly. Did you say
Appreciate that.
there was 3 bids? You did know that, right?
I knew that, yes.
And there was 3 bids, and you say you're one of them?
Correct.
All right, let me get with you right after this, and I'll
Okay.
tell you where we are. Thank you.
Thank you.
My apology to you, okay? Thank you, sir, Mike. I'll see you right after this. Right now, I'm going back to where we were, and it looks like, if I can see anything, we're on R-23-27.
02385, sir.
020, no, I thought I got to go to 23-217. Where are we? Help me.
23.
We're up for, we just need a nomination for adoption.
All right, the motion is 7, okay. Let's go back, I'm sorry. Let's go.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Then where we are,
R-23-217, Mayor Hartwick.
R-23-217, and I thought we said we was gonna, no, that's not it. R-20, I gotta, go ahead and read, because I need to convene another public hearing. It's about grass cutting, I think it. Go ahead.
A resolution approving and certifying amounts of liens to be filed with the Pulaski County Collector against certain real properties as a result of grass cutting expenses and abatement of other nuisances.
Second.
We need to convene a
I'm
public hearing.
about to do
Thank
that
you.
right now. So those wishing to speak for or against it, I'm going to convene a public hearing on R-23-17, which was just read about grass cutting. Those wishing to speak for or against it, please come forward. Seeing none, I'll adjourn this public hearing. Yes, sir, call it.
Move for adoption.
Oh, we done it.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor? Yes. Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
O-2381, Mayor Hartwick.
Please.
An ordinance levying a tax on all real and personal property within the city of North Little Rock for the police pension and relief fund, the fire pension and relief fund, the municipal library fund, and the North Little Rock general fund. Declare an emergency.
Second.
Motion's been seconded.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Second.
Right. Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
And Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter? Yes. Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Just so you know out there, everybody, this is not a new tax. This has been going on since 1996, if I'm not mistaken. I've been hearing emails that we're going up on your taxes. It's not, this is something that we have to do to maintain what's been done for many, many years, okay? So letting you know. Please.
O-2382, Councilmember Baxter and Harris.
Please call it.
An ordinance waiving certain sections of Article 7 of the zoning ordinance, ordinance number 9263 for certain real property located at 5220 North Shore Drive in the city of North Little Rock to allow the waiver of screening and buffering requirements along the western perimeter of the property.
Move to suspend all readings.
Second.
Reading.
Motion's been seconded.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Motion to adopt.
So move.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
And Height.
Yes.
O-2383, Councilmember Taylor and Robinson. An ordinance rezoning property located at 1218 Rockwater Boulevard in the city of North Little Rock from an RU to R3 zoning classification by amending ordinance number 9263. First reading.
Move to suspend the readings.
Second.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
Motion to adopt.
So move.
Second.
Second.
Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
On the emergency, Ross?
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.
That includes new business, sir.
Is that, no, we got, oh, 2385. We've already handled it, right? 2385 has been done, correct?
Yes, sir.
Right, so right now I've got public comments, and I need public comments from Mr., I don't have them in order, but let's say Rhonda Hayes. Rhonda, are you here still? All right, come on up, please, ma'am. And Ms. Hattie Temple will be next. Remember, you have 3 minutes, okay? All right. Ms. Hayes, identify yourself and address.
My name is Rhonda Hayes. I live at 408 College Park Drive, Ward 1. I have a problem with the water that's going under my house from the city. I called Ms. Ross one time, and she had the city to come out. Nobody would say that who it was on, but they have a city drain busted pipe under my house. I get a knee-high water under my house, and it's causing my house it's tearing my house up. It's been going on for the last 6 years. And every time we call the city, I called North Little Rock Street Department, they say it's not their problem. Then finally, when I talked to Ms. Ross, she had them to come out, and then they want to do some work now. Now my house is tore up, my roof's falling in, my floor is falling in, and I have a mildew problem. And I want to know who's going to be responsible for fixing the street under my house. My house is paid for, and I did it by myself. And I worked hard, but I can't pay for getting pipes and trying to get a new roof on my house. So I called City Hall, not City Hall, I called somebody up there, and I asked them, so would you help me get a grant for my house? Because they have plenty of grants out there, and what is that? One of them told me that they would help me, but then he started giving me the runaround and had me talk to somebody else. And she said they don't do that. So who's going to be responsible for my house now that it's bad. My house is real bad. I can't even have company to come over to my house, and I don't want my house tore down because of the city fault,
Okay.
And they try to tell me that they shouldn't have put the house there. No, you have to get a permit to do work, to do work, to put down pipes and all that stuff. So they trying to put it saying that they have no fault in it. But now they want to come out and put down sidewalks, but they don't want to help me fix the problem that I've been trying to get them to fix for the last 6 years.
Ms. Ross.
Yeah, Ms. Hayes, and she did call me, and when she did, it's just probably, it ain't even been a year yet, but that project was immediately moved to our next CDBG project as far as the whole street, the drainage and everything. Now, as far as her personal home, I did not have any information for her on that, but I do know that is our next project, CDBG project.
All right, Ms. Hayes, you understand what you said? It's a project that's with community development, block grants, so it's on the project list to have it done. So meanwhile, I'll send someone to your house that works for me now, okay?
Yes, sir.
And see if I can't get better information about what your problems are, and I'll get back to you, yes or no, or whatever you like, but I'll get you somebody back there, okay?
Yes,
now,
sir.
I can reach you at this phone number, 501-744-4501?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll have someone get in touch with you soon, not maybe tomorrow, but maybe the next day. But
Okay,
I'll have it within the
it's
next
been
2 days.
6 years, so I
Yeah.
can wait.
Well, again, I don't want to wait no longer. Fair enough? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Appreciate it. Ms. Temple?
Hi, my name is Hattie Temple. I live at 1726 North Locust, Apartment B. I'm up here again complaining about the same thing I've been complaining about every time I come to this meeting. The folks, they sent now he sent a code man, and I gave the code man some telephone numbers. The work that they did, y'all, is all subterranean. They fixed the woman's roof, and it's already bleeding back through with the mold, y'all. They didn't put no kill on it or nothing. So I just want to know, what are we supposed to do?
So you live at the North Locust Apartments, right?
I stay in Eastgate, but I'm
That's
complaining.
what I said.
I'm for everybody. This is my council, and I'm for all of the folks that BGC took over, Holly Knight and them took over.
So you're talking about Eastgate, correct now?
No, I'm not talking about Eastgate.
You're talking
I'm talking about 2301 Division. If you go to that high-rise, which used to be Heritage House, water has been leaking in that basement for the last 8 19 years. When they did the roof, they didn't do the roof, so they made the mold come up in there. The woman apartment I'm talking about, she stay on the 11th floor. They moved me out this building, y'all, because I say the building was gonna fall over. If you go to that building and look back there, the building is tilting to the back. It's gonna fall backwards. It's gonna do just what that did in Florida. It's the same material. They ain't fixed nothing. All that money just going to waste, y'all, because they ain't fixed nothing. They went there and fixed that woman's stuff, and I went up there the other day and took a picture. I got a picture of the roof before they went there, and the same stuff is leaking right back through that white paint. They didn't do nothing but go in there and paint it. They didn't even scrape it. They didn't even cut it out.
Somebody came there, what, it was about a week or two ago, maybe 3?
Well, you did send me a person to
Right.
send. I gave all these people that I wanted to call their telephone number,
Right.
and they was made to do something, but they didn't do nothing. They did that. It's a different than doing the work than doing at the work.
Yeah, I remember coming out and seeing y'all, if I'm not mistaken. And we had, it's owned by a company out of New Jersey.
It's owned by Holly Knight, which used to be BGC. What they do is every 6 months to keep them doing our work orders, they change their management. We do for a management change right now. Every time we do a management change, we do a brand new lease.
Really?
I don't sign on no leases. My lease is with Housing Authority. I got the same lease I've been had. I don't go through all that time because you're not getting my name on nothing else. My lease is with Housing Authority. Housing Authority pay my rent.
I remember taking code out there, if I'm not mistaken. about
Yes,
a
you
month
did,
ago.
sir, and I commend you on that because you did get some things did. But the only things left now is somebody got to do something about that mold in that basement because when you get on that elevator, y'all, it's gonna make you sick. Every time I go in that building, my eyes run when I get on that elevator.
Let me talk to Felicia like we do and see where we are. Fair enough?
Okay, all right. And you have my telephone number.
I
You will have
was about
somebody
to
call
ask you,
me.
it's like 690-1110?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Hattie.
Okay.
Anybody else on public comments? Not? Let me have everybody's attention for just a second. I've been involved with Mayor Hayes' funeral. It is at 3 o'clock. It'll be November the 12th. It's going to be...
October.
Huh? What did I say? October 12th, excuse me. I'm thinking something else. October 12th, this Thursday at 3 o'clock. Right now, we're in the planning stages of what the agenda is. And what I'm saying is I'll know more tonight than I do today. I'm understanding that Bill and Hillary Clinton may be coming. There's areas that I'll have for you dignitaries out here. There's people that were on board with the class of 65. There'll be an honor guard. But to answer your question, let's all say a prayer for the family more than anything. But if you have questions about anything, I'll know a lot more tomorrow because the agenda will be made. It's at the First Pentecostal Church. It's at 3 o'clock. I would suggest if you're coming, I would say get there approximately 2:15 to 2:30, and I'll start the process by bringing the honor guard in at exactly 3 o'clock. So if you have questions, you can send them to me, but right now I don't really have the particulars or the agenda, but it's being worked out, okay? So with that, say a prayer. Is there anything else from the council?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Thank you all very
Ross?
much.
Yes.
Hamilton?
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Insulaco?
Yes.
Height?
Yes.